Yo, what's up, y'all? Hopefully everybody can hear me. Basically I just came from a live stream with Burgundy Blue commentary, and I said, you know what? I guess she was talking about sister wives or something. But the question here is, why did God allow polygamy, or some people call it bigamy, in the Bible of that time? Now, a lot of people might look at this question like already have like preconceived notions, like, hey man, the Bible is full of contradictions anyway. Others, especially Christians, that should be the main source of their God, God's word in their book, in their mind, as his holy book for them to abide by and live their lives by. And for me here, I'm just basically just trying to answer the question in a non-biased fashion. I'm actually gonna explain it from a Christian perspective. I'm not gonna bore y'all with scriptures or anything like that. Y'all just know about the accounts I referenced or whatever. So we're gonna break this up into three main questions. Basically, why did God allow polygamy in the Old Testament? 2, how does God view polygamy today? And 3, why did it change? So let's look at that first part of that question. Why, when you look at accounts such as I'm forgetting the characters. I'm sorry, Abraham, Jacob, David, and King Solomon. You look at them, they all had multiple wives. And Solomon really did the number. He had 700 wives and 300 concubines, essentially wives of lower status, and that was according to the Bible in 1 Kings 11:3. So with that being said, a lot of people want to ask the question, like, why was this allowed? So as we speculate about God's silence at that time in the Bible, there is one key factor to consider. Due to the patriotic societies during that time, it was nearly impossible for an unmarried woman to provide for herself. Women of that time were often uneducated and untrained. Women relied on their fathers, their brothers, and their husbands for provision and protection. Unmarried women was often subject to prostitution and slavery. So to me, it seems that God may have allowed polygamy to protect the women at that time that could not find a husband otherwise. So a man would just basically take on multiple wives to serve as a provider and protector for all of those women. While to most people that might, Christians, that might not be ideal living that polygamous lifestyle at that time, but a polygamous household was far better than the alternative for women in that day, and that was prostitution, slavery, or possibly starvation. So in addition to the protection and provision factor, polygamy of that time enabled a much faster expansion of humanity. And everybody knows this scriptures, be fruitful and multiply, Genesis 9:7. So with that being said, I just think that it allowed humanity to grow at a much faster rate, because a man is capable of impregnating multiple women at the same time in a time period than it is for one man to impregnate one woman once a year. So of course, her humanity is going to grow at a much faster rate because of polygamy. And my personal reason is, I think God allowed this at that time, according to God of the Old Testament. He allowed it so he could fulfill I cannot think right now. Where his, he can basically fulfill one of his, I cannot think of the word. He can fulfill his purpose pretty much, by using his son to fulfill the Mosaic law at that time. So let's go on to the second question. How does God view polygamy today? I mean, it's no secret that, a lot of Christians, they reference scriptures to support in the New Testament, scriptures such as 1 Timothy 3:2, 12, Titus 1:6, basically where a husband should have one wife. That's just what it is. And so that's just my, the second question, like, basically, how does he view back to how does God view polygamy today? That's basically the gold standard. How Christians always say, you know, this is the view. I'm trying not to be I'm being unbiased here. So let's go to the conclusion of this. Why did it change? To me personally, I don't think it's not so much that change is the word. I want to say it's not so much as God disallowing something that he had previously allowed, as is God's restoring marriage to his original plan. So if you was to go back to Adam and Eve, polygamy was not God's original intent. You know, based off their relationship, he wanted a monogamous relationship. But y'all know there are several factors that came into that to you know, I mean, men, you know, it's men, imperfections, you know, it has a lot to do with demons, Nephilims of that time. I mean, it was a lot of things that play into that account of why polygamy, you know, y'all have to remember during that time, like some of the populations was wiped out. So I think you know, they had to speed back up the process. And I think that's why God of that time, just examining the Bible, I think that's why God allowed polygamy. Because I mean, it probably would have took a hell of a lot longer to get to where we are today if, you know, polygamy was not allowed. So that's just my breakdown of it. You know, I can get in deep. I know I'm withholding information, but I don't want to be holding people hostage it would seem like I'm preaching then. And then, so I guess that's just my take on why, you know, did God change his mind about polygamy? Just according to looking at the Bible, I don't think he did. According to the Bible, when you examine the scriptures through its entirety, I don't think that was the case. But I already, you know, I know people would disagree. I'm being unbiased, and I can understand why some may disagree because of due to different cultures and different religious beliefs out there. You know, some people was like, hey, polygamy is just part of their lifestyle. But hey, just according to Christians, now that wasn't the focal point. And y'all, all right, I don't want to hold up too much of your time. This is your boy DC The Truth, and I'm about to sign this out for real.
Honestly, I don't know who the fuck to trust. Is he my friend or my foe? I'm my exit draw. Yeah, she give me that claim as well. I remember back when I was younger, I was happy. Nowadays feel like no one understand me. I'm good at all this silly, I'm Bob, baby. Baby's yellow text.